Hey guys, Tequila Sean here, franchise founder of the Brow Company Beauty Bar Makeup Studio and Lash Spa. I am going to do a quick little video here. I wanted to set up and do something studio style, but I figured I have a few minutes while my son is I am not driving, I'm in the passenger seat, and this was just something that was on my mind. I thought about it yesterday. I wanted to give some feedback as to how the first day of my brand of salon spas went with the official reopening of the mandatory closure that happened on April 1st, 2020. And we were able to reopen and relaunch May 18th, 2020. And I am, I'm no longer in the spa or the salon, but I am behind the scenes as the franchise founder, doing a lot of work, doing a lot of things there on the back end. But I felt it imperative and important to, first and foremost, be there to support my team, TBC, those wonderful ladies there, but also just to set the tone for the new way of doing business. This is there's protocols and there's policies in place, some that were state mandated by the boards, and I want to debunk a few things because we're getting a lot of no, I won't say I'm seeing a lot of questions. I've gotten maybe 2 or 3 pretty decent or reasonable questions about the policies. I had maybe 2 or 3 people yesterday that there was a little friction, nothing major, but a little more in-depth explanation that was needed to make them to help them understand why we have the policies in place. But across the industry, on social media, I'm seeing a lot of adversity and a lot of frustration and a lot of disloyalty. And I won't even go with the word loyalty. I mean, I understand we do have some wonderful, amazing guests that have supported the salon, the spa, the brand, the franchise as a whole from day one, and we are super appreciative of that. I'm super appreciative of that, extremely blessed for that. But one thing I learned when I was in cosmetology school from one of my instructors, I had 2 awesome, amazing instructors, Libby Deloach and Dusty Connor, and we called him Mr. C. And one of the things Mr. C would tell us, he called us birds. He said, "You birds, let me tell you something about when it comes to loyalty. When a client sits in your chair, they're only your client while they're in your chair." And that stuck with me because people have the right to go where they want to go. Now, do I want them to come back? Absolutely. I want to keep the business. I want to keep the service. And I've been blessed and managed to do that with the brand. I have a lot of 10-year-ers, been in business for 10 years, and I've got a lot of people that have been with me from day one. But we've seen a lot of people come and go, and it doesn't upset me, it doesn't frustrate me, because it's always a revolving door. So with that, for starters, I want to encourage my industry colleagues to not be frustrated during this time where you have people that have shown loyalty and seem to not be loyal anymore, quote unquote. Don't take it personal. Things change, seasons change, people change, finances change. There's a lot going on, and you can't hang your license on that. There's always, as long as you are good at what you do, as long as you have professional skills and you're ethical, you're going to draw in what you need. And so I just want to encourage my industry colleagues first and foremost on that, to not worry about that and just to continue to trek forward. But I do want to speak to the consumer. This video is for you, the consumer, because you guys are giving my industry professionals and colleagues a hard time. There has been such an issue that I'm seeing, and I will say again, I'm seeing it because we just don't have it in my salon and spa, and I will be quite blunt and very frank to say we don't have it, maybe because I do articulate and I am able to come across in a manner that I'm tactful. I know how to say what I need to say in a manner that everybody can receive it. So maybe that is why we have a little more understanding and communication on our part with our guests, and we don't see the adversity. But also, one of the biggest things that keeps resounding with me in my spirit is I own this. And when I say I own it, I am the franchise founder, so it is still my brand. I have a proprietor, which is my salon owner and proprietor and management, which is Raquel Green, who's been with me for 6 years now. And she just has earned that title, and she's earned everything she has. But speaking in reference to the brand and the franchise, that's my blood, sweat, and tears. I worked hard to build this brand and to build this business and to build a great product and service and to transcend that into the men and women that come into that establishment to offer you all a luxury, a service that you desire, that is not a necessity. I get it. Beauty is a must, so I'm not going to say that, but I want you all to understand it's a luxury. And so we're in a time right now where, as professionals, industry professionals, they're choosing to come in, and I'm speaking for all of my industry colleagues. They are choosing to come in to provide a service, a luxury to you all. And the things that I am seeing is there's so much disrespect and misunderstanding, and I see a lot of people trying to force the hand of my industry sisters and brothers. Oh, well, if you can't get me in sooner than this day, I guess I'll go elsewhere. Oh, you have to wear a mask in your establishment? I'm going to go somewhere where I don't. Oh, South Carolina's not open yet? I'm just going to go to Georgia. Oh, the disrespect. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Now, I said yesterday when I left my the salon and the spa, I said I'm gonna get on and I'm gonna do a video and I'm gonna tell it like it is, because I was in a different headspace yesterday. I'm good today, so my tone is very lighthearted and cheery, and I think you can understand where I'm coming from. But you know in the industry professionals have suffered. They've been out of business for a month, 2 months. You know, they have families just like you have a family. They have needs just like you have needs. They have, their time is important. Their health and their safety is important. So we're not only speaking for my spa and salon, we're not only implementing these safety measures for you all, we're doing it for ourselves as well. We're people, we're humans, we have families to go home to, and understand when we implement these things, it is for the general safety of the public. And so I'll give you a rundown of what we're doing. I saw someone ask me last night, they had a question. I don't know if it was a question or if it was a jab. I don't care which one it was, but they asked, you know, did you have to do all of this to reopen? And my response was, some of it yes, but some of it was my standards that I set because I own this business, and I went into business for me. I went into business for myself, and in business I am excellent at what I do, and I'm excellent at customer service, and I'm excellent about how I run the things that I run, and I do that for the consumer, and it's going to transcend every bit of what I do. But please understand, when I say I own it, that means I get to set the policies and I get to set what's in place, and I don't allow myself to be dictated or my hand forced because of the sake of someone not liking something. When you become a business owner, you instantly become a public figure. I don't care how big or how small, how large, how wide, a mom and a pop, a chain, a franchise, whatever it is, you become a public figure. And as a public figure, you have to begin to make moves that reach the whole and not just yourself. And so when I make decisions for my business, I am thinking about the broader spectrum and not just appeasing or appealing to just one individual. So for instance, when we set in place at my salon and spa, we went above and beyond, and I'm quite proud of it, to set that standard. And one of the things that the governor did say is that PPE, it is required. Your masks are required. We require before we close, because of the mandatory closure. Go this way because I think my signal's going to start going out at that end. the PPE, the personal protective equipment, masks. My girls were wearing masks before that. So masks are required. Masks are now required for our guests when you come in. You don't have to wear gloves. We didn't, our girls are wearing gloves. We didn't enforce gloves because we went back and forth about that. Like, well, they're not really touching us, yada, yada, yada. They can spread germs more. But masks they're wearing when they pull up in the parking lot. They are required to call and check in from the phone, via phone or text message before they are allowed to come in. Why do we do that? Because we want to minimize the number of traffic in the salon and spa. And we're on day 2 and it is working beautifully. Nobody has a problem with it. When they get in, they are required to have their temperature checked with an infrared thermometer that does not touch the forehead. It's about 1 inch away from the forehead, and it scans for that temperature. If that temperature is alarming and more than the standard, which determines there's a fever in the body, which indicates the body fighting off infection, then we're going to discreetly talk to them and pull them aside and tell them, unfortunately, we can't see you. Everybody has to fill out a waiver of liability. Waivers of liability, some people are like, I don't want to do that. I don't understand that. Please understand the waiver of liability is for us as a business owner, because just like you don't want to do it, we don't want to be sued. Period. Bottom line, point blank. And so it is a safety precaution, and there are measures being taken because behind the scenes, we as business owners have to answer to higher powers that be as well. But first and foremost, again, I just want to say, I didn't want this video to be super, super long, and I'm in my neighborhood, and I feel like my signal, the further I go back, it's going to go out. But maybe I'll do this a little more professional and do another series on it, because I see so many things, and I just want to start speaking up about it, because some of my colleagues, like I said, are having such a hard time, and they are struggling, and the consumers are giving them a hard time. And maybe if we can come together as professionals and consumers, and I can be the liaison to communicate that for my people, that everybody understands it a little bit better from both sides of the spectrum, then maybe we can do a little bit better in this industry. We can't change it as a whole. You know what? Yeah, I can do all things through Christ. If God says, Takia, go change the industry, guess what? I'm coming for the industry. But anyway, I'm going to start in my city, and I'm going to start in my realm of scope. And I just, I support all my beauty professionals. We've had a hard time. Some of us went without zero income, for the last 2 months. So if they're, adding prices into things, the cost of supplies is astronomical. I spent $150 on 5 masks and 6 bottles of hand sanitizer. You do the math. So, and we didn't change our prices. What we did is, if clients, they are given the opportunity and the courtesy to wear their own as long as it meets the standards, but if they don't have it, then they can purchase from us. So if your stylist or barber or tech or esthetician or whoever has to change their prices, has to change their time, people are homeschooling their kids. We're still humans. There's so many things that I can go over and talk about here, but like I said, I don't want to keep this video long. I will maybe start a series and talk about some business ethics and tactics and offer what I can. I'm a wealth of knowledge, and I don't mind doing that, but I just wanted to hop on here and give my thoughts on that, and just go over to our page, The Brow Company Beauty Bar and Lash Spa. Check out what we're doing there. My industry professionals, feel free to follow the example that I'm setting. Feel free to share what you're doing. But the only way this industry is going to continue to thrive and survive is if we work together. And consumers, we need you to work together with us, because again, you all are getting a luxury. Them lashes, ladies, I know some of y'all, I know, understand, I know we need them, but they're a luxury. So be kind to a beauty professional today. I'm home, gotta go, bye.